Hi friends! Now normally I'm Casey from Triple K Art Studios in these videos, but today I am Miss Chu from Lost Creek Elementary talking to my 5th graders. Let's do this papier-mâché mask lesson. I know it stinks that we cannot finish our lesson, but you can't let that stop you. There are ways around it. Just because we don't have a plastic mask mold does not mean we can't make a mask at home. It's very simple to do at home, just with a few simple materials. The next time your grown-ups go into town, make them a list. You are going to need a few things to make this mask from home. You will need some tape. This is 97 cents at Walmart. Duct tape will work, Scotch tape will work. You will need some newspaper. They can grab a Sunday paper. There's a lot of paper in there. That'll be plenty to make this mask. You will need some colored construction paper, some flour. It was very hard for me to find flour because I ran out, but maybe grandma might have some. Maybe someone that you know might have some in a pantry that you can borrow for this lesson. Some Elmer's glue, and then any type of embellishment, which means the decorations that you want to put on the outside of your mask. So go to walmart.com, go to the dollartree.com, check out their craft sections, and make a list of feathers if you want feathers, if you want gemstones. It might cost a little bit of money to get this mask lesson completed, but I still want you all to have the opportunity to finish this mask because it is a very special lesson and it's a very special thing that we do at Lost Creek for our 5th graders. So the first thing we need to do before we start the paper mache is we need to make the mask shape. So we need to make the armature. An armature is a structure that you build on the inside of a sculpture to provide stability. The Eiffel Tower has an armature. The Statue of Liberty has an armature. Every sculpture or building that an artist has to create has to have some sort of strengthening structure on the inside, and we call that an armature. So we are going to build it out of newspaper. It's going to take a little bit of control, that's why we strengthen our muscles, but you will be able to do this. So you have to think, if you have a human form, we are going to try to build a human form, and then we are going to build the mask on top of it instead of inside of it this time. We're going to start by crumpling our paper, and you are going to need to shape it into the form that you want. One piece at a time. Start building onto it, and then you're going to start taping around it. So grab a couple of pieces of tape. If you want to put a couple of pieces of tape on the edge of your working area, you can do that just so you don't have to keep pulling tape off of the roll. And then we are going to start putting tape on this sculpture that I have in my hand, and we are going to manipulate it to acquire or obtain the form that we want. It's going to take a lot of tape, so you might want to grab a couple of rolls of this really cheap tape right here. Now, you're going to have your paper start to try to control you and manipulate you, but you need to not allow that. You need to keep a hold of it. Use the muscles in your hand if you need someone to help arts and crafts night with your family. Going to add more tape. So right now my structure is starting to look a little bit like a potato, but my goal right now is to turn this into a cat. So I have the basic shape that I need for the head. It needs to be a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to pull out some ears. So I'm going to fast forward this video while I'm working on this, just so you can see how I'm going to kind of build this armature. I'm pretty happy with the overall shape of my armature since I'm going for a cat. You could see where I wasn't happy with a lot of the areas that needed a little bit more shape and dimension, so I just added more to it. Also, there were points when I had to get some really long pieces of tape, sometimes this long. You're going to use a lot of this tape. You might need to grab a couple of rolls, and it is okay to use a lot of tape. Just however you want to acquire that control, it's up to you. You might be wondering why I chose not to use wire in order to acquire this shape. Wire can get pretty expensive. If you have wire laying around, baling wire sometimes works really well. If you know anybody that has any baling wire that they put around hay bales, that's a very easily moldable, pliable wire that you can cut easily as well. You can use wire for this. I'm using tape because it is cost effective and it's manageable. Wire might make it a little bit easier if you have some grown-ups that want to use some wire to help you, then you can use wire, but we're just sticking with tape. So my cat needs to have a little bit more dimension because a cat has a little bit of a shape to its mouth, its snout area. So I'm going to add a little bit of a snout, probably on this side. and just try to protrude that out just a little bit, and then I'm going to be done. You do need to make sure it's as tight as you can get it. It should feel like something that you can throw up and catch without falling apart. So I'm going to add a little bit more on the snout, and then I will be done with my armature. So I'm going to speed the video back up just so I can finish this, and then I will show you what it looks like at the end. And again, you do not have to do a cat. A human form would just be an ovular shape. You can also create the form of a horse's head, so it would just be longer with ears similar to this at the top. There are so many options for this. So I'm going to speed it up, finish this, and then we will work towards the next step.
I'm about done with this one. I'm not going to do the papier-mâché until probably tomorrow or Monday, probably tomorrow.
Okay, so I'm happy with the overall shape of my mask. It's sturdy. I can throw it up and catch it like a ball. I can smack it around a little bit and it's not going to fall apart. That's your goal. If you have some little areas that are starting to get loose to pop out, just take a longer piece of tape, stick your fingers on one end of the tape and pull. And what that's going to do is that's going to strengthen it and tighten it. This tape works just fine. A lot of times we get complaints that the tape's not sticky enough when it comes to this sorts of thing. You just need to have longer pieces of tape. You need to use your hands to control it and manipulate it where you want it to go. This is not going to be easy for some of you. You just have to accept that you might need some help. If you need to email me on this YouTube channel address. It is KKArtstudios@gmail.com. Email me with any questions. Send me pictures. If you have trouble, let me know and I will record a video just for you, just to help you. And then you can come back to this channel. This is my channel. My daughters and I have been doing all sorts of videos, and I will help you get these masks done. So this is part 1. Get your armature built. We will move on to step 2 with our next video, and that will be applying the papier-mâché to the armature. I hope that you can get the materials and get this started. That way you can get a mask done. I will see you all in the next video.